Kogo News Time, 6:41.
Well, it's one thing to surrender to the occasional impulse buy, you know, that watch gleaming from behind the display case, or maybe that drone that you've had an eye on forever.
Shiny.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was just thinking about all the shiny things I've seen this season. But when your purchases shift from impulsive on occasion to compulsive, now you got a problem. Joining us on the Kogo News Live line is the money therapist and CPA, Holly Signorelli. And Holly, how do we know when we've crossed that line? Because you kind of get into a little, thing.
Yes. You know, because just like you have a sixth sense with your significant other or your kids, or anything else in life, you also have a sixth sense when it comes to money. And your body will tell you. Your body, that's where you get that anxiety or that sweating or your stomach clenches because you know that you're not supposed to do it. So the best way to combat that is to avoid certain things. Like, for example, I love shoes and I'm very good at budgeting shoes, but sometimes I know that I can't go into a shoe store because there's just too many beautiful shoes there, and I know that I'm not going to be able to contain myself, right? So you have to turn around and walk away. But the best thing during the holiday season is, honestly, we need to bring things back to simple. Everything is really simple. We've made it complicated. We've made the holidays complicated. It's really about your family, your loved ones, enjoying each other's time, and really sticking to a budget and make a list. You know, the good old-fashioned list works really, really well because you have it with you. This is what you're buying. You don't deviate. You cross it off. I always like crossing stuff off on a list. You know, you feel like you've accomplished something. So that's the way you have to combat this. You can't let it get ahead of you, especially with the cyber shopping.
So researchers estimate that 6% of Americans are so-called shopaholics. And
yeah.
What kind of a rush does a shopaholic get?
It's just like any rush that anybody would get from any kind of vice that they have, like gambling, something that's, exciting in the moment. They're buying something. And really that, for me, from what I've seen over the last 20 years working with thousands of people, is it's based on emotions. We have this emotion that we desire something that somebody else has, so we have to have it right now. And the other component of that is the instant gratification. Everything is instant gratification, like social media. Everything's fast nowadays, so we don't want to wait for something that might just take us 2 or 3 months to save up for. We whip out the credit card because of those emotions. So if we can be aware of those things, the desire to have something for the wrong reason, or the instant gratification or the jealousy factor, then we could contain ourselves, because then we would know that feeling that you have, that high, is always followed by a low. It's always followed by guilt and especially in January after the holidays, because the whole country goes on a spending drought because they've spent so much money during the holidays. So kind of everything shuts down, and you don't want to start your new year that way.
Holly Signorelli is with us. She is a CPA and the money therapist, and apparently I need a little therapy. Just throwing that out there because I have a shoe thing. But
you need to do my shoe calculator. It's on the website, and it will tell you how much you can spend a month on shoes.
Okay, I think I'm gonna take that. But here's another problem that I've noticed, and I had to kind of cut myself off a little bit. Was if you're Amazon Prime, you just get stuff shipped to you, and you can get a box every day, and it's just so easy.
You're right. Somebody just told me that the other day too. I'm familiar with it, but they said the same thing. It's like you get something in 2 hours. I mean, it's crazy. Talk about instant gratification. So it's so exciting. And, the shipping might be free, or, again, things are on sale, but that doesn't mean you really need them. But you think, I can afford this. And that is the nickel and diming thing that we do in our society. It's just like when you're at the grocery store and you buy a magazine that you're not even going to read because it's right there. It's only a couple of dollars. But those dollars add up to thousands. They really do.
Holly, thank you very much. That is the money therapist and CPA, Holly Signorelli, joining us on the Kogo News Live line.